Alright, greetings again, y'all. So, I'm back. We're back. So what I thought was a power outage was not a power outage. Apparently my breaker threw. And I think I know why. I might have too much stuff going on in this one little room. So, yeah, I've shut down right now. I had the main game. Okay, so I've always had the monitor that has like the broadcast software, everything over here on the right, little 32-inch monitor. I've got the game going on the 55-inch monitor. I usually had TV or something like that going on the left monitor, which I did. I do not have my little heater on here. Don't even have it plugged up. But I did hook up another power source, like it's a computer, like laptop. What do you call it? Like a power adapter, and then hard drive that plugs in to the power. So I think that was drawing more power than it probably should have. Maybe, I don't know. But apparently it wasn't the power that went out. It was my breaker that threw. So I got to figure something out there. I've got to either put the laptop and the drives and stuff on a different, separate outlet. Of course, the breaker all comes to these all of these outlets in here. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Can you run an extension cord from another room and plug in a surge protector to the extension cord? I don't know. I know. You know the reason why the breaker trips like that is because it's an overload. But can you run an extension cord from another room? Is that a possibility? I've shut down the computer and the hard drive and all that, so I don't have that running or going anymore. So now you guys have my full and undivided attention. I don't know, I think it's that. It's got to be that, because I've always had the TV, the game monitor, and this broadcast software monitor where I have all my information for TeamSpeak, the folders and stuff like that I can access. I've always had those running. I've never had any problems, no issues. So it's gotta be the laptop and the external hard drive to that. Because I did have them up and running. Or did. I don't now. I unhooked them, unplugged I didn't unplug, I just disconnected the power cables to them. So, yep, I gotta figure something out. So yeah, that first video, I'm going to take a look at it and make sure the file's not corrupt for the recording. Hopefully it's not. King 92. Is that a 9? Yep, 92. Thank you for that raid. No, they don't all run on the same breaker. I have separate breakers. I've got a breaker for this room. I've got a breaker for the other room. I've got a breaker for the living room. I've got a breaker for the kitchen. Got a breaker for, I've got separate breakers. So yeah, it most likely was an overload. So I got to figure out how I can plug stuff up from another room. All right, thank you again for that raid. Have a good morning. Yep, I have a feeling that was an overload. Let me see. I'm going to do some research here. Farming's going good. Going good. And good morning. The canola field's completed? Okay. If you want to move it down the road to the wheat field over by the soybean fields, you can. So I've been doing some reading on how to avoid overloads. And I'm wondering if I can. I've got another surge protector. I might have had too much stuff plugged into one surge protector, so I've got another one. I may try to divvy up some of the stuff. I think I had too much plugged into the one surge protector over here, because when you add it up, it was just too many. I think it was too many, maybe in the one. So I'm gonna try to get another. I've got another surge protector that I can. That's a high rated one that I can use. That I can plug into one of the other outlets that's not in use, and hopefully that will fix the overload problem. Alright, so we got this field done. Let me go hit this other wheat field over here. See if I can get down there from here. Whoa, truck. Whoa, car. Coming across. I think there's a little bridge over here I can go across, if my combine will fit down it. Maybe. Yay! Oh, there's a fence there. Let me see if I can get around here and get in a better spot to start this. Morning, Jeff. Got some more trees to take out here. Or well, I don't know if I own them. They're not actually on this side. Alright, let me see if I can get that going. Okay, let me tab over there to it. Alright, so what I've been reading, and good morning. Bravo chick, how's it going? So what I've been reading is, well, I just Googled this, and this is AI, so I'm putting my faith in AI for the first time. That's not dropping straw. That is still set to canola settings. Hang on. Let me change that around. Here we go. I'm doing pretty good, I guess. Doing some research on how not to overload a circuit breaker in the house. So this is what AI says about it. I've searched, you know, basically what the culprit is. I think it was an overload. I think I had too much stuff plugged into one surge protector. So I added my laptop and a external hard drive to it, and I think that's what caused it. So I got to thinking about it. It is not a good idea to run an extension cord from another room. So they say do not plug a surge protector into an extension cord. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to burn my house down or anything like that. No, just put the canola in the silo, the big silo. The other silo over by the cows, I'm just putting like the silage and grass and, you know, all that stuff, straw, stuff like that goes in that silo over there. And then I'm putting all the crop type stuff. I've put little signs up beside where you dump at there, so you can see better, like, total what's in there. So yeah, won't be running an extension cord. But I searched, can you plug multiple surge protectors into separate outlets on the same breaker? And it says yes. It's safe to plug multiple surge protectors into separate wall outlets, but never plug one surge protector into another, or daisy chain it. And don't plug, obviously, like, you know, wall heaters and stuff like that. You want to plug those directly into the outlet. So it says connect each surge protector power strip / power strip directly to its own outlet. So hopefully dividing this stuff up onto separate surge protectors on separate outlets will fix the problem. So I'll have to work on that later. I wouldn't think my little laptop, well, it's not a little laptop, it's a pretty beefy laptop. Might have been the hard drive though. The hard drive, and it just might have been too much. Let's see what all I've got plugged into this thing. Let's look at this theoretically. I had my phone and phone charger plugged into this. I've got my 32-inch monitor plugged into this. I've got my chair plugged into this because my chair is a power chair. Got buttons. I've got now the laptop and the external hard drive plugged into that. I gotta look because I can't remember. Okay, I've got two phone plugs plugged into that, so I may move one of those out. One of them's for the lightning connector and one of them's the USB-C connector. Power thing. Power brick? Power block? So hopefully I've got another outlet kind of nearby. Matter of fact, I can move a lot of it back there. I've got two additional outlets close by. So I've got 3 outlets total that I can plug stuff into if I need to. So what I can probably do is take this 32-inch monitor and my chair and plug those into that. I can plug the laptop, the external hard drive, into this one beside me here. And then I've got another outlet close by over yonder. I say close by. It's on, these are on separate walls, by the way. What's the mod called that shows what everything is doing? That is Simple Inspector. That's only on PC. It's in the PC in-game mod hub. You can set it up however you want to. It'll show you the AI. It'll show you fuel, what field you're in, speed, capacities, all that stuff. You can kind of customize it. It's got a lot of customization to it. You can change the size of the text down there. I've got it as big as it'll go. That's 20x text size right there. I think default is like 8x or something like that. I'm old and tired and I can't see hardly anymore, so I put it up on 20x. That's as large as it'll go. If it went larger, I might do it larger. If it went larger, I'd probably might try to make it, you know, a little bit bigger. No, I'm not cutting air. That's actually the AI. So what it is this header that's on this combine. The width of the field is off by that little strip that it just cut, and you can tell that it just cut that strip because it did throw down straw. So it wasn't cutting air. Here's the strip that it just put down of the straw. Right here. This was the first pass, so this was the outside pass. So what it does is it selects where that little remaining part of the crop is before it gets to the other side of the field. So now every pass after this little bitty tiny one should be full passes. So that should be a full pass that he's on now. This should be a full pass. There's probably a few more here. We know that the outside line was a full pass. Basically what that means is you can't just say, okay, every pass on this field is going to be a 16-meter pass because it's a 16-meter header. You're going to have one that is not quite 16 meters, and it just so happens that the math, when it comes out to it, it had just a wee little bit, maybe just a furrow or two to cut to make it equal out. How's this guy doing? Oh yeah, he's doing great. He's doing fine on his own. You should back up here. Yep, there we go. Morning, Kimmy. How's it going? Going good. Other than maybe kind of possibly almost burned my house down, but you know, other than that, it's been pretty good. What I'm gonna do, I've got two other surge protectors that are high-end surge protectors. They're pretty good surge protectors. I'm gonna be splitting up some stuff because I think I had too much stuff plugged into one surge protector. And I may actually split some stuff off of the surge protector that's got the computer here and then the two monitors plugged into it. I'm probably going to be removing some stuff. I had another power cable that was plugged into it, but it didn't have anything hooked up to it. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take one of the phone cord blocks off of that too. And then what I may do is, yeah, that one that's got the, right now it's got the router. It's got the modem and router, the two big monitors, and then the PC itself plugged into that one back there. Basically, I'm going to go through and redo my whole power setup. Try to spread it out a little bit. Hopefully that will deter any more circuit overloads. Because, yeah, I was sitting here streaming earlier, and all of a sudden, everything went, okay, so I'm like, okay, well, the power went out. That happens. It happens more often than you think. And then I'm sitting here, just maybe for about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe. The central heat kicks on. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hang on. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. That should not be on. Because I don't have a battery backup for that thing. Good morning, Tomcat. How's it going? I don't have a battery backup for my central heating unit. That thing runs off of direct power. I'm like, wait a minute. Something ain't right. I go check the circuit breaker, and apparently plugging up my laptop and my external hard drive, I guess it was just too much. And I've never used that while running, you know, everything else in here. And I was using that. Well, it was on. It was plugged up and on. I wasn't actually like running it or anything. It's sitting over. I've got a table on my right side that has my 32-inch monitor that has the broadcast software here on it. And then I've got it's got my snacks on it too. And then I've got another table that matches the table on my right side, the exact same table. It's same height and everything. That's got my keyboard on. I set my controller over there when I move around or get up or anything. And now it's got my laptop and my external hard drive on it. And then that's where I've got my phone cords running through there too. So yeah, gonna be divvying all that up. I guess I didn't learn my lesson back many years ago. Did someone say snacks? Yeah, I said snacks. I got snacks. I got some white cheddar smart food popcorn. I've got a some kind of nut bar thing. Got nuts and chocolate in it. I've got a handy snack. I've got Rice Krispie treats. And I've got some more honey barbecue sun chips. So yeah, I've got snacks. I'm good on snacks, I think. The ladies went nuts. I went to the big city and bought some special chocolate chip cookies from a really nice grocery store, and they've had them before, and I surprised them. I came in with them and put them out on the counter, and they were just all ecstatic. You know, these are the best cookies. That's a whole snack loadout. And then I've got my Dr. Pepper and orange soda on the right one too. Got Dr. Pepper, orange soda, zeros. Both of them zeros. Everything I've got drink-wise is zeros. Oh, did you guys also see? They are coming out, and I need to post that in Discord. They are coming out with Oreo zeros. Did you guys see that? I'm kind of excited for that. I wanna try them. You know, hopefully they taste good. Hopefully there are no gastronomical consequences with those, because you know sometimes that does happen with some zero sugar stuff. But yeah, they're coming out with zero sugar Oreos. Let me post a picture of that. I got a picture of it here somewhere. Just gotta find it. If I can hit the right buttons on my phone. There we go. Alright, now let me go back up here and do this. Do that. Do that? No, I did not. Maybe I did. I did do that. Okay. Go back over here, hit that. Buttons are hard this morning. It might be the lack of power that I had earlier. Okay, there we go. Okay. Selected that. Okay, so those are in Discord now. So you can get the regular zero sugar Oreos. These will be available in January, by the way. And then they have the double stuffed zero sugar Oreos. So I'm a double stuffed guy, so I'll try the double stuff. There's a TikTok account that has all Wilford Brimley AI videos. Diabetes. I love the there's a video out there of it's like a math problem for like a group of kids or something, and if Tommy has, you know, 6 Snicker bars and 4 Hershey bars and, you know, 8 Milky Way bars, how many chocolate bars does Tommy have? And then Wilford Brimley pops up and he's like, diabetes. I think it's a meme. It's not actually, well, it's probably actually a video too. I think it is a video because I've heard the sound effect, you know, it's just his picture, but it's the sound effect where he says diabetes. So yeah. Alright, let me get over to this field over yonder. Can I fit through there? Can I fit through there without having to move that tractor? Oh yeah. diabetes. Now the question is, can I fit through everything down here? Without disconnecting this. Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna drive on the side of this field over here. I'm sure the neighbor won't mind. As long as I stay kind of right on the edge here. Gotta thread the needle. Serpentine, serpentine. Thread the needle. Weave, weave and turn. Weave. Here we go. Let me go check on... What are you doing, bro? You're supposed to stay straight, no? Right? Let me do you manually for a sec. Great. Now let's try that again. Come on, bro. Figure your life out. That's... Okay, he figured life out. Field 32. Where's field 32 at? You're throwing numbers at me and I'm like, that's 21. That's 25. There's field 32. So that's the S790. Yeah, over there. Okay. So we'll put one of them on peas and one of them on oats. Don't think we have any more wheat fields after that unless I buy that one. There's one more down there. But it's kind of expensive. It's not cheap, but we could get that and then we could plow all these three together eventually. I may do that. I mean, we have a bigger combine now. It didn't cost us as much. We traded in the smaller combine on it, and it didn't cost as much because we didn't get the X9. We got a new to us S790, completely refurbished S790. So it wasn't sold as used condition because it was all, you know, rebuilt from the ground up. Yeah, so yeah, there's wheat. There's several wheat fields through here. We have this field here, 17. We have the field that I just put the S7 in, 22. We have this one, 29. Yeah, 29 there. And then we had those two that the 790's been doing. So, but we do have a field of peas right there, I think, that's ready. Yeah, got a field of peas that's ready. Why is that green through there? You see that? Look at that. There's like a green line through all these fields over here. See that green line? It's like a straight line going through all these fields. Why does that? Is that a different growth state? I kind of need to go investigate that. Which way am I running? Which way am I running? So these are the peas. They're ready to harvest. Where is that green line? Let me run down here a bit. Yeah, there is a little unfinished strip. It's not ready. That's still growing. Isn't that interesting? That goes all the way across the map. Well, it didn't affect the rye because the rye was ready to harvest. Look at this. So there's this unfinished growth state there. It's like there's a whole line that goes completely across the map. That's strange. Wonder why that did that. Wonder if going into the next month. I don't know, peas. Okay, peas can be harvested. I'm not too worried about the peas. The only thing that would be concerning if it did that would be if we planted olives in there or something that's, like long grain rice or something that only took 1 day to harvest. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll just remember that these fields, basically it's just north of the railroad track there. And it goes all the way across. Even the sunflowers down here. It says they're in a different growth state too. Right? Is that the right field? More this way? These you can't really tell. I love how that doesn't stay on growth. Yeah, these you can't really tell, but I bet those other fields over there you can. Did he miss a lot of wheat down here? I think he missed a little bit of wheat over there. He's done over there though. Right? I'm guessing you're moving him to another field. I kind of want to go investigate all this. Yeah, there's a whole different strip down here that, I'm assuming this is poppy. Yeah. So there's a whole strip that runs through the map this way. Huh. Alright, we'll keep that in mind for next time. Alright, so if you want to put him in the... I guess we'll put him in the... Well, if you want to take him over there and hit that oat field real quick, or I can maybe hit it with the S7 over there. S7's just about done. I'll empty the S7, and then I'll hit this oat field over here real quick, and then I'll bring this guy down to the oat field down there too. We may need to go to August. What have we got growing out there right now? Nothing that we are too concerned about other than the rice, maybe. Rice, I think, has to be... No, it looks like we've got a couple of months to harvest the rice. We got August and September to harvest the rice, so... This map is amazing. It's basically it's Stevie's Riverbend Springs. So it is Riverbend Springs. It's just changed up a little bit, but it's also the 4X version. And the 4X version makes it all pretty much worth playing. Gonna check what's for breakfast. Not beef. You know, that's what's for dinner. Bum, bum, bum. Downloading it now. I'm going to start on it. We like it, I think. I like how he's done like all the fog around the river. And maybe Riverbend Springs was like that, but you get to the lower areas down there, and then there's a lake on here too. The lake is pretty cool. And if you have the Highlands add-on or the year 1 season pass or the DLC, the Highlands DLC, you can go fishing down there too. So I got down there and I went on a bridge down there. Oh, there's a save. Go to that right there. So this is the bridge that runs over to the main central island on the lake. You can fish off this bridge. You can fish off the island too if you want to, off the bank or something. There's some little boat docks out there you can fish off of. But you can fish off the bridge here too. Wonder if you can fish from the guard tower. Like the fire watch tower. The S790, just divide and conquer wherever you want to put it. If you want to put it in the big oak field, if you want to put it in the pea field, that pea field, we're probably gonna may have to go ahead and fast time through to August to get that thing fully grown. But I'm kind of holding off on that because I don't want any of the other crops to. I don't know that any of them would. Yeah, just put it wherever you want to. You can put it in the oat field or the pea field. Yep, I'm ready to work on this little island down here. That's gonna be fun. So he's done with that. Tell you what, let me bring that truck over here. Or wait, you already did. There it is. Let me empty this. And I'm just going to try to leave that back hopper open for the oats. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I don't even need to do that. There's not enough oats right there for it to really matter. But I will do that. I'll cut those oats and I'll put them in the back hopper and then I'll bring that over there. If we have to go empty it, we have to go empty it. And then I will be plowing these together. I'm already missing. $270 is what I need to be locked in on. There we go. I would assume this runs straight east and west. Uh, I like it. There was some pretty good stuff that came out with it. I mean, you have the Nexat, and we don't really use the Nexat that much just because um, it has some issues when it goes, I think, to planting or something. Now, the Plains and Prairie DLC that came out with the Season 1 pass, that was worth it. Got the big Ford tractors in that, got the bigger grain cart in that. Got some really nice other equipment in there. Got the Big Roy, is that what it was called? Got the versatile equipment in there, the tractors. And then one DLC was the Mercedes tractors. That's not right. That's right. There we go. Food recon complete. Awesome. Yeah, I guess it's, whichever you want to do, probably. I'll say that, I'll always probably do the season pass just because, it's me, and I'm all about the farm sim stuff, so. Hey, there's some stuff hidden in there in a lot of those packs that you wouldn't think, well, I'll never use that. But there's a lot of stuff in those packs that you'd be like, you know what? That actually comes in handy. Yeah, I can actually go and look at the DLC stuff. So I don't have the Nexat enabled on here, but yeah, you get the Ford tractors with the Plains and Prairie. You get the Mercedes Benz DLC. You actually get some Can-Am stuff with the Highlands DLC, the JCB stuff. I'm trying to remember what all you get in there. I'll go look at it here in just a second. So yeah, the Highlands is worth it just because you have that really cool map. It's basically Scotland, and it's kind of in the area where the Harry Potter stuff was filmed at. So here's what all you get with the Highlands DLC. You get the Can-Am ATVs and the side by side. You get the little car. You get the older JCB. You get another Deutzfahr. You get the other JCBs. You do get an older, slightly older New Holland tractor. That's pretty cool. And then you do get a new Vaderstad planter. Get another spreader, some more like manure spreader, stuff like that. A sprayer. This sprayer is actually a good tow behind sprayer if you want a tow behind sprayer. That one has a higher capacity. You get a self-propelled sprayer. You get all the onion stuff if you have this DLC, so you can do field onions. Get a couple of cloth balers, and you get the fishing pole. So you need this DLC. It's the Highlands Fishing expansion. So you need that to get the fishing pole. The fishing pole alone, to me, would be worth it because you can go fishing anywhere you want to go. Let's say you've been farming, you've been planting, you're tired, you just don't want a fast time or sleep the day away. Go fishing. Find you a little fishing hole. Go fishing. Go fishing at the river. Go fishing at the lake. And of course the MacDon, we all know about the MacDon DLC. The Mercedes DLC is basically what it says it is. It's Mercedes-Benz tractors. You get the Mercedes-Benz trucks. Ooh, fancy. Basically, that's what it is. It's just really fancy. But me, I would say, aside from the Highlands DLC, the Plains and Prairie, because you get all of this versatile equipment. These the small utility tractor, the bigger tractors. You get the Fords and the larger versatiles, which are pretty much the same, just different names and paint jobs. You get the Big Roy tractor. And kind of like I'd say like a Big Bud equivalent, maybe. Maybe not equivalent, but kind of like in the same class as maybe the Big Buds. Then you get a tracked versatile tractor. You get the Vaterstrad Cedar. This spreader is pretty cool. Fertilizer with that. To me, the cedars, just these cedars alone like that, and this planter, this Vaterstrad planter, this is the Tempo K24. This is a popular planter. A lot of farmers use this planter. I've constantly seen ads. I watch a lot of farming videos. I constantly see ads about the Tempo K24, and farmers love this planter. Then you get the Brent grain cart that holds 88,000. You get the Fence spray rig, and then you get another international truck. So, yeah, I really like the Plains and Prairie one. All right, so let me. Where'd you end up going there, Fuzzy? In the oat field? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dump these oats into the back part of this truck here, and then I'm going to hit this last wheat field or two here. Morning, Trent. Can't wait to see what the new stuff will be with the year 2 season pass, because they announced that. I know if you get the year 2 season pass, you already get a piece of equipment. You get that JCB tractor that goes really fast. Let me go to. Oh, let's see. Let me just find JCB. It should be under the JCB stuff. There it is. Knew it was in there somewhere. So you get this tractor here. This thing gets it. Yeah, it goes 150. What does it say? 153 miles per hour. Might come in handy on a 4X map. I don't know that you can pull a whole lot with this because it doesn't have a 3-point on it. But if you wanted to have like tractor races or something like that, maybe. It does have a pin hitch, so if you wanted to pull a trailer with a pin hitch or a header trailer with it, I guess you could do that. Basically, if it takes a pin hitch. But yeah, you can go 153 miles an hour with that one. Matter of fact, here is that truck. This is the truck from the Plains and Prairie DLC. That is the simple inspector down there in the bottom left. Basically, you can set it up however you want to. It'll show you what the AI is doing, what multiplayer, all the other people are doing, what field they're in, how fast they're going, how much fuel they got left, etc., etc. The fuel levels and stuff. Whoa! That was almost bad. Yeah, that's Simple Inspector. It's in the PC in-game mod hub. Got a lot of customization to it. You can go into it adds it, when you download it, it adds it to the settings page. And you can go into the in-game settings and pretty much kind of change just about everything with it. You can change the font size, you can change, I think, the colors and all kinds of information and stuff you can do with it. Do we? Is that down there? I don't know if it. I don't know if you can do that with it. I don't know if you can do the straw with the AI as far as picking it up. I do know that it's actually not hard to do with the steering assist. I don't know if that'd work. I'd have to try it and see, because basically it's the same concept. But if you go into the AI settings and you switch it over to steering assist, basically if you set this up the same way that your combine is set up, so you're in your baler, you're in your tractor, and you got your baler behind you, basically just set up the working width to the same working width that your combine used, which this one we have the 14.5 meter header on it, so I would set that up to 14.5 for the baler, and then turn on show lines, and then put in however many headlands you worked, whether it was 1, 2, 3, etc. And then you should have your lines come out to match up with what your combine dropped as far as the straw goes. Same goes with, like, if you're mowing, or if you're using the MacDon to mow or something like that. I'm gonna say the tractor, this tractor right here, as a matter of fact, and doing straw with this John Deere baler. I'll get over here and I'll show that off. We'll try it. We'll test out to see if the AI works. I don't think the AI does it, but it's super easy to set it up for the steering assist. Alright, so it looks like we did one headland. This is where we started dropping the straw. I'll just start up here where the hill starts at the top here. Alright, so I'm gonna go in. Yeah, it won't set up for the AI. So basically you can set up for the steering assist though. So I'm gonna go in. It was a 14.5 meter header that we used on this, so I'm gonna set that to 14.5. 4, 5, there we go. And then we did one headland. So that matches up to that. And then just make sure your lines are on so you can see your lines. I guess you don't have to have them on if you don't want them on, but just for this purpose we'll leave them on. So we'll do that, and then always check your working direction to make sure it dropped it in the same direction, which most of the time it will be, but sometimes when you change that up it will kind of change those directions around, especially on fields that are not perfectly like rectangle. So let's do that. Drive forward so you can see the line projects onto what it dropped. So we did the one headland line there. And then it stops on there. So basically, that's it. You just use this like you would GPS. Activate it. Turn it on. Over the baler. And then you're good to go. It should stay on that line perfectly, because it's basically taking the same exact track that your combine did. Well, the Simple Inspector, you just download that from the in-game mod hub. You don't even have to worry about, putting it in the folder or anything. That's available in the in-game downloadable mod hub. It is a PC-only mod. So then I'll turn right here. Locked in on that headland there. Download it from the in-game mod hub and it automatically goes into your mod folder, and you should be good to go. Should be set. So even this, this automatically detects where we were talking about how the width of the combine header doesn't match the field exactly. So it's not like 16 meters, 16 meters, 16 meters, 16 meters. There's going to be one pass where it's going to be less than 16 meters. So this one had a really narrow pass that it did, so it's picking up on that. So I'm going to pick up the outside pass first, walk in on that line. So this little shorter line over here, that's where it did that shorter pass. Shorter pass there. Yeah, 25 would be way different from 17. I'll say probably the biggest thing is that it's nice that they have integrated some type of, some form of GPS for the console people. I know the console people until 25 came along, they didn't have any options really for GPS. And now they have this new system where technically it's steering assist, which technically it's GPS. It's basically the same thing. You can show the lines, you can hide them if you get to a point where you feel like you're comfortable hiding them. Once you use it enough, it becomes pretty easy to use. I didn't think I'd get past the GPS system we had before, but I actually like this one. The only downside to this one, and that the only reason why I have the enhanced vehicle mod, is the in-game GPS. You can't use it on anything except a pre-made field. So it has to be a made field to be able to use the AI settings or the steering assist settings. So like if you wanted to mow what we call meadow grass, that is grass that is not on a field, then you wouldn't be able to use that system. I think there's a mod out there. Somebody was talking about there was a mod that actually turns that on, maybe? I don't know. I've gotten so used to the enhanced vehicle mod that I just use that. That's the one nice thing about the enhanced vehicle mod is like when you're running tipper too. Say you're running like a grain cart or a tipper or something beside your combine. You can set that whatever direction your combine's going. Just set your cruise control, lock in that GPS heading down there. You can see it kind of flickering. It's on 89.9 right now. It's flashing back and forth to 90 degrees there. And yeah, you lock that in, you're good to go. You can use that on your tipper too, on your grain cart, bin chaser, whatever you call it. There's so many different names for that. It's crazy. They call it grain cart, bin chaser, auger wagon. There's another name I'm forgetting. Grain cart, bin chaser, auger wagon. Yeah, there's courseplay too, but courseplay has had its own set of problems. That's the beautiful part about farming simulators. You can play it however you want to. So if you want to use auto drive, if you want to use courseplay, if you want to use the in-game GPS, if you want to use enhanced vehicle mod, and whatever else is floating out there. It's like Reese's. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. There's no wrong way to play Farm Sim. Yeah, I think we'll see improvements to what they've done so far. You'll see improvements and changes with the in-game stuff down the road. Which is better, auto drive or course play? That might be a better question to ask Trent. Trent, are you still out there? Which one do you prefer, auto drive or course play? Auto drive, you know, I think you have to kind of set it up on the map. Course play, I think you kind of got to do it too, right? But I don't know. Trent might be able to. Yeah, Trent and Zach. Trent might be able to answer that one, or Jeff. Trent or Jeff out there. Course play is for infield work. Okay, so auto drive, you can kind of set it up to like run your load to the sell point or your silo or something like that. AI is for driving, course play is for field work. There you go, there's your answer. What about the lines that are set up here? These are the lines that the combine followed. If I wanted to, I could actually go in and turn that off. You don't have to have them on there. I had them on there for demonstration purposes. So just reactivate it and then you're good to go. Here, let me eject those bales there. Down here, I did drop some straw down here too. Start up here from the north side, work my way downhill. So I'm going to set this up the same way, same combine did these fields. So 14.5 meters. We did one headland, I guess. Yep, one headland. Yep, that way, that direction. I'm gonna leave the lines off this time, so I can just lock into that, turn it on, and I'm locked in right now. Rock and roll. I'm not steering. The steering assist has got it. It's following these lines for me. These are the same exact passes that the combine made where it dropped the straw on the ground. And you're good to go. I think the traffic has gotten better. It's still not, you know, excellent. I won't put it in the excellent category, but it has gotten better. Gotten a little more, there's a little bit of like here and there stuff that's where it's gotten better. So like if you're on the road and you are driving down, let's say you're driving a slow tractor down the road, the traffic behind you won't just build up. it won't just build up, and it won't like pile up. So it won't be like a single conga line going down the highway anymore. If you're going slow, most of the time the car that's immediately behind you will pass you. I thought that was pretty cool. The first time I saw that, when the car was going around me, I was like, wow, they actually pass you on the highway. So they still don't stop at stop signs though. They really don't obey the traffic laws. So they'll pass you on a double yellow, they'll do that. But they don't stop at the stop signs. They need to stop at the stop signs. They need to look both ways before proceeding through the intersections. They don't do that. Yeah, Kimmy, you're right. It's 100% better if you turn it off. So yeah, you can still turn the traffic off if you want to. Why? Alright, I'm gonna turn this around. Take one down, turn it around. 99 bales of straw on the ground. Alright, I'm gonna park this right here and we'll come back to this. I'm gonna go check on this combine over here. Oh, yep, he finished. Okay. So I'm gonna take this over there. This has got weed in it. I've got that truck over there with weed in it. So let's see, which would be the fastest? Probably that way. Let me take my header off. Nope, I had it. I bumped the button. What's for preferred tractor brand and semi brand? What's my, I guess you're asking what's my preferred tractor brand? Well, yeah. I think that pretty much speaks for itself. Yeah. That's always a questionable turn there. Is it some sort of green and yellow? I remember back in the day when people were taking the Valtra and making that green and yellow before we had John Deere. Now I do have respect for, like Case IH, the International Harvester stuff, the New Holland, Ford, all that. Even like some of the older stuff, if it's more readily available and works, like the white tractors, Oliver, Minneapolis Moline, the Ford New Holland stuff, all that's, pretty good. Some of the older Farmall stuff, Alice Chalmers. If it's a good quality item, and I don't mean to sound like Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, but if it's a high quality item, it's got to be a good quality mod for me to use it though. like I should have turned back yonder there. We got beans. Yeah, and those other brands are good too. You know, you got a lot of the brands that are, you know, bigger across the pond. You know, Fence, Kloss, the Deutz-Fahr, JCB. The Fent 1050 is the best. Yeah, I'll say that's a good one. I think you can get that in Challenger too now. There's enough room in here for this. Nope. I was worried about that. I'm just gonna park this right here for the time being. Yeah, you can make the Valtra purple and pink and, you know, all your fun colors. All right, well, happy farming to you as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm telling you, it's just been a plague of problems this morning. Oh, man, the game crashed. How bad did it crash? Yeah, it crashed. It went way down. Let's relaunch the game. I'll bring this image back up. That's happened to us before where it's crashed like that. I've got the autosave saving though, so it saves every I think I've got it set to save every 10 minutes. Maybe I should bump that up to 5. I don't know, but this gives me some time to reflect and pop open another drink. All right, here comes the game. Let's see where we left off. Fuzzy's over there probably banging his fist on the combine steering wheel. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. All right. I think we can go back to that screen, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, hey, there it is. This might be a good time to say goodbye to YouTube. Just kind of start on this fresh little bit here. So you guys on YouTube, we've been plagued with problems this morning. It's been crazy. Had a overload on the circuit breaker, so all the power went out in here. Hopefully we still have that video. And then now the game crashes. So, you guys on YouTube, we'll see you in the next video. Always remember you reap what you sow. It's Matt from the Grain Arcade. We'll see you in the next one.